World War I was one of the deadliest conflicts in history, and those who fought in it endured some of the toughest conditions imaginable. Life in the trenches was especially brutal, and soldiers had to contend with everything from deadly attacks to disease. Here is a compilation of the grimiest reality of trench life that soldiers tried to survive. It was a nightmare on earth. The Western Front was a desolate landscape of mud, blood, and corpses. The air was thick with the stench of decay, and the constant threat of death loomed over the soldiers. To make matters worse, they were often plagued by rats, which carried diseases that could kill them. The soldiers' only solace was the camaraderie they shared with their fellow soldiers, and they relied on each other for support as they endured the horrors of trench life. Under fire, a soldier's day in the trenches of World War I was filled with danger and uncertainty. The relentless shelling and gunfire from the enemy made every moment a potential death sentence. Soldiers were forced to live in a state of constant alertness, always fearing when a stray bullet or explosive would end their lives. Despite the danger, they carried out their duty to defend their country and protect their comrades. As the war raged on, these brave men continued to endure the daily horrors of trench life, demonstrating incredible courage and resilience in the face of adversity, enduring the impossible. Life in the trenches during World War I was a grueling test of endurance. Soldiers were confronted with unimaginable horrors, from the constant threat of death to the physical and psychological toll of combat. They faced relentless enemy attacks, endured harsh weather conditions, and battled diseases that spread through the ranks. Despite the unbearable circumstances, these brave men persevered, demonstrating remarkable strength and resilience in the face of adversity. Their stories serve as a testament to the enduring power of the human spirit and the sacrifices made by those who served on the front lines of one of history's deadliest conflicts. Echoes of fear. The horrors of war can leave deep scars that last a lifetime. For the soldiers in World War I, the psychological toll of trench warfare was just as significant as the physical toll. The constant threat of death, the sights and sounds of battle, and the loss of comrades could take a heavy toll on their mental health. Many soldiers suffered from what we would now call post-traumatic stress disorder, and they returned home with physical and emotional wounds that never fully healed. The echoes of their experiences in the trenches continued to haunt them long after the guns fell silent, serving as a reminder of the true cost of war. Rats, mud, and mortality. The grim reality of life in the trenches during World War I was a constant struggle against the elements, disease, and death. Soldiers had to contend with the threat of drowning in the muddy waters that surrounded them, the risk of contracting deadly diseases from infected rats, and the ever-present danger of enemy attack. Despite these grim realities, they persevered, displaying incredible resilience and courage in the face of adversity. The harsh conditions of the trenches were a stark reminder of the brutality of war and the high cost of survival. Life in the trenches. The daily battles of World War I soldiers went far beyond the fighting. The soldiers in the trenches faced a myriad of challenges that tested their strength, resilience, and sanity. From the physical toll of digging and maintaining trenches to the psychological strain of living in a war zone, these men endured it all. They battled the elements, diseases, hunger, and loneliness, all while remaining ready to defend their country. Life in the trenches was a constant struggle for survival. But these soldiers persevered, demonstrating remarkable courage and determination in the face of adversity. Trench warfare. The daily life on the front lines of World War I was an unimaginable ordeal. Soldiers were trapped in a labyrinth of muddy, rat-infested trenches where the threat of death lurked around every corner. The incessant shelling and sniper fire made any movement outside the trench a risky endeavor. To make matters worse, the lack of proper sanitation and medical care meant that even the smallest injury could become a life-threatening infection. Yet despite these grim realities, the soldiers held their ground, displaying extraordinary bravery and resilience in the face of such unthinkable conditions. From mud to mayhem, the soldiers in the trenches of World War I experienced a daily struggle against the elements, the enemy, and their own dwindling morale. The thick, suffocating mud that clung to their bodies and the constant threat of artillery fire and sniper attacks made every moment a potential disaster. To make matters worse, the limited supplies and the lack of proper food and medical care added to the misery of those trapped in the trenches. Despite these hardships, the soldiers pressed on, demonstrating remarkable courage and determination in the face of such daunting challenges. Inside the trenches, every soldier in World War I had to face the same grim realities of trench life. No matter their rank or background, they were all at risk of the dangers that lurked within the muddy, disease-ridden trenches. From the threat of drowning in the stagnant water to the risk of infection from rats and insects, the soldiers were constantly battling against the elements and disease. Moreover, the constant fear of enemy attack and the psychological toll of living in a war zone added to the immense challenges they faced. Despite these grim realities, the soldiers remained steadfast, demonstrating remarkable courage and resilience in the face of such adversity. Survival against all odds. The gripping reality of life in the trenches of World War I was that of constant struggle for survival. Soldiers had to endure the physical and psychological toll of trench warfare, facing dangers that threatened to overwhelm them at every turn. From the threat of enemy attack to the harsh weather conditions and the lack of proper supplies, these men were pushed to their limits. Yet they persevered, displaying remarkable strength and determination in the face of such adversity. Their stories are a testament to the resilience of the human spirit and the sacrifices made by those who served on the front lines of one of history's deadliest conflicts.